Hello, my name is Mike Ward. I'm the Global Director of Content at Informa Pharma Intelligence's Insights portfolio. And I'm here in San Francisco at the Biotech Showcase meeting. But actually, running parallel with that, there are other meetings as well, including obviously the JP Morgan meeting. And there was a meeting that was organized by TPP Healthcare, focusing actually on the China market, which is clearly an interesting place. I'm joined by Tony Chu, who is the co-founder and managing partner of TPP Healthcare, the guys who organised that China forum. So Tony, I mean, what were the key themes that were discussed at your meeting?
The key thing that we discussed this is our second time hosting in JPM. The first time was 2015, and then we're going to do it annually going forward. The key theme is basically Chinese capital. We fuse that with U.S. or European innovation. So Chinese capital, there's a lot of Chinese companies that have grown over the years from small generic type of products. They're still very generic now, but still generic Me Too product companies, regional distributors, or small manufacturers with very outdated equipment technology. Now they're huge public companies in China, healthcare companies. So, but what they do, they lack innovation. You know, they don't develop a lot of the innovative products. So over here in the U.S., there's a lot of innovation, a lot of technologies here that's needed in China. So fusing that capital, investing in U.S. companies, and bringing those technologies in China is the main theme of our conference.
All right, so this is Chinese capital that's coming to source technology to then re-import it back into
right, sort of like we're sort of exporting technology to China. Yeah, so a lot of U.S. companies would need some funding to commercialize their products, so that capital is needed here, and at the same time you source that technology, bring it to China, commercialize there. For that market. And
have you sort of seen that there's been a big increase in sort of the capital available from China to?
Yeah, I think over the years we've been doing this since 2010. At first, there weren't too many people looking at that, and but from 2015, 2016, and now we've seen an escalating number of of people looking over here. So just by the sheer number of people that comes here to JPM, you can see. 2015, we had quite abundance of Chinese companies as well. We had over 30 pharmaceutical and investment companies come into doing one-on-one meetings, and nearly 70 actually came. We registered 30, but there was nearly 70 came. But now you can see there's probably 4 or 5 times more people than before. So I think that's really getting hot, starting to get hot, I think. I think we're still at the tip of the iceberg, but I think it's starting to get there.
Yeah. Now, I mean, there are some challenges, though, in terms of restrictions on sort of capital movement. I mean, are there sort of governmental sort of restrictions on actually how much money can be put to work to, I guess, export that U.S. technology or Western technology into China?
Yeah. So there has been a big outflow of capital out of China because of depreciation in RMB and so on, so for a number of reasons. So the government is kind of tightening up the capital outflow from China, but they're still allowing, because when there are investments in innovation, it's a longer process now, but that's still allowed. So, because innovation is still what China needs, so that's not going to stop. There are a number of ways that that can be dealt with to make sure that capital is flowing out of here at an efficient manner. But it is, there has been tightening, and every 3 months they tighten it a little bit more.
Yeah. One of the interesting observations I've had though about China is that in the past, I mean, you mentioned about the fact there's a lot of sort of generic activity, etc. We are actually now seeing some innovative companies being created in China and securing significant amounts of money. Do you sort of foresee, a time soon where Chinese pharmaceutical companies will be, big enough to actually start, engaging in M&A activity elsewhere?
Yeah, I think the Chinese companies are already getting to that point where they are looking for M&A activity. I mean, this is something we're doing as well. We're looking for M&A targets for a number of public companies in China, syndicating the funds to acquire U.S. and U.S. and European companies mainly. So that's something I think is already in the works. Now, the other thing that you mentioned is that there are a lot of innovation also in China. Yeah, not to the degree I think it should be. It's still far from it. Yeah, but it's getting there. So I truly believe that China will become an innovation center, but is it going to take 5, 10, 20, 30 years? I think that remains to be seen. So I think if we were successful and we can export some of the great technologies we have here into China, you can build the fundamental for the whole ecosystem in China so that they can build upon that and innovate from that.
Yeah. So you mentioned how you sort of seen some growth, through, for example, your meeting. I mean, your meeting's now sort of closing up. Did you sort of what was the mood music? Are people sort of really optimistic? I mean, will we see some more growth and more activity coming out of China and into China this year?
Yeah, I think the meeting that we've had has been getting bigger, really fast, right? So we've had over 200 people show up at our Sunday conference. And that was an educational panel. We're giving a lot of information to U.S. companies to understand more about the Chinese market and the Chinese capital and how to efficiently access that, and also how to develop a long-term relationship with Chinese partners. So basically, that's the theme. That's what our company does, right? And additionally, on Monday and Tuesday, we're closed now. Yeah, Monday and Tuesday, we have these education panels for Chinese companies. So we're already oversubscribed in China. It was on a WeChat. There's a 500 cap, and for live streaming, which we also record for Chinese audience. These are all investors and healthcare professionals. We're oversubscribed at 500. We're already past that. So I think there's a lot of interest from China. Also, the companies that we're seeing here from U.S. and some from Europe we're getting more and more of that, and the interest level is building up. So I think that's a good thing.
Yeah. So eventually, your meeting could be as big as all these other meetings.
No, I think we're fanning this fire for a long time. I think China, there's a lot. I think we're at the tip of the iceberg for sure. So there's a lot more to do, but I think it's a great partnership that we have with Biotech Showcase, and I hope that we eventually could do more and more. Yeah.
Right. Great. All right, Tony. Well, thanks very much for stopping by.
Thanks, Mike.
Cheers.
Thanks.